Alright, so we're back again, and this time we're going to be putting these beautiful little -10 AN fittings to replace these small little AN8 fittings. So we've got some -10 to 18mm metric threads. So we're going to tap them, one in there, and then one in here, and we're going to vent them both to the atmosphere. So I guess first up we'll pull off the valve cover and then drill and tap those two holes and then make up some hoses and connect them all up. So you can see here the size of that would probably be only like 8mm inside diameter, and that's venting back into the intake manifold. So we're going to move that up to a 14mm inside diameter and vent it straight to the atmosphere, so we're not going to be getting any blow-by gas into the intake over here. And then obviously once we go to engineer it, we'll be running something from the top of the catch can over into the airbox or the intake, whatever we do. So stay tuned. Alright, so before we go any further, I just want to clear up and kind of clarify with the guys that are running currently a stock setup or basically stock setup. So usually, as you can see here, the block breather goes into a T, which is in the valve cover, and then that would normally go to, I'm guessing, your turbo inlet, and then the fitting over here at the back of the motor goes to the PCV valve and then to the intake manifold. So as you can see on the screen, this is basically what I would advise running if you're making big power or you've got problems with pressurizing the crankcase. You know, you can, if you wanted to, you could keep this one going to the PCV how it is factory, so that'll siphon a lot of condensation when the car's warming up. But if you want to make the most of getting all that crap vapor out of your motor and into the catch can, this is probably the best way to run it. And if you want to go one step further, you could actually get rid of the T and run a dedicated line from the block to the catch can, from the valve cover to the catch can, and the other side of the valve cover to the catch can, and then either vent the catch can to atmosphere if you're running speed density, or you can run or vent the catch can back to the turbo inlet. Sexy does this look?
Oh well, it wasn't sold off as a fully sick motor.
It is legit. It's got, I can see BC spring retainers, adjustable cam gears. They're pretty pointy cam. And we've got the cover off. Andrew's just taken out the PCV valve. I'm guessing that's what it is. Yep, PCV.
One way, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, as soon as you're under boost, that closes and it forces it out the other side of the rocker cover. So we're going to take our 17 or so mil bit and drill these holes out, and then tap some new threads. Alright, so now we're just going to drill out some new, the same as the valve cover, just some 18mm holes both sides of the catch can, as you can see. So you can see there the inside diameter difference. I think the -10s, the blue one is about 14mm, and I think the -8s are about 10 from memory. Alright guys, so we've got the valve cover drilled. See there, and there. So those of you who have the motor in the car it came in, a Silvia, you're not going to probably have this problem. But we've got a windscreen wiper motor in the way, so Andrew's going to kind of hold that out of the way so we can get the back of the valve cover started. And then we're going to try to keep the gasket in place because it's RTV'd to these caps here at front and back. So, see how we go. Alright, so as you can see, we have got rid of this ugly T, whatever it is, and we've just run some silicone hose to neaten it up. Now we've just got to put our fittings in here, and then we'll mock up some hoses. So, do the honours. Alright, so we're on our trailer bench. Oz trailers, check them out. So, I'm just going to show you how to do a AN hose. So basically you got your line. This one's already cut, so this is the first one we're going to do. That literally just feeds into there like that. Sometimes these are easy, sometimes they're not. You pretty much just push that in like so. Sometimes you have to put it in the vise. Kind of twist it down. Really ghetto spec today, isn't it?
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, if you can see there, hopefully that hose is pushed in. So basically, there's two different types of fittings. So this is like a tapered fitting, so it pushes in the hose and pushes the hose out. We've also got what Speedflow use, a cutter fitting, which actually cut into the hose to ensure a tight seal.
And we all love a tight seal.
Yeah, we do. Alright, so it's good to put some oil or something on these, just around here, and I always put some on the inside of the rubber there. It's just a matter of inserting it into the female bit and then screwing the male bit nice and hard.
Yeah, no comment.
I've just got a bit of multi-purpose grease.
Or alternatively, what you're putting is lube on the male bit to insert tightly into the female bit.
It's good to put a bit of lube in the female area as well.
So for easy insertion.
Yeah. Sometimes they're a bit tight.
Is it usually that tight?
So if you're having trouble getting it into the, like if it's in the hose end and you're having trouble getting this bit into the hose, if you push it in like this and just kind of loosen it up a bit, because this is the cut end from the factory, so this has probably been cut off with some shears or something. Alright, so next up, once you've got that started and the thread's in, you basically got to, some people mark the bottom of the hose. When you got in the vise, as long as you're kind of pushing upwards on the hose, and then you just slowly screw this fitting down into it, and it should taper inside the hose and then give you a tight seal. So that is one fitting complete. And obviously, give it a bit of a tug to test. Once you do a few of these, you kind of figure out what you need to do and what feels right, but yeah, usually you should have a bit of resistance to swivel it. And yeah, let's go mock it up. Alright, so now we've got the first fitting done. That's basically in position. Now we're going to route this where we think it's going to run. So basically, what I do anyway is I wrap tape around where I'm going to cut, and then I cut through the middle of the tape, which also helps to hold the braid together. So, as you can see, the hose basically comes to the start of the screw off fitting, so I can roughly mark where that would be. And put a bit of electrical tape or whatever else
where you
around it. Yep. So I'm just going to cut through the middle of that now. And that'll sit something like that. Then we can install that fitting. Alright, so we're back to our ghetto trailer vise. Right, so as you saw, we've got the tape. So I like to use a hacksaw, some people use a grinder, but I've tried a grinder. I honestly think hacksaw is probably the neatest way. That's it. So obviously the finer tooth hacksaw you can get, the better, but either it's pretty decent cut. So it's just a matter of taking the tape off now. Forgot the fitting. Alright, so same as the other one. Take this back one off. This one should fit in alright. Expand it out a bit. That's that. Now,
Carl's favourite bit.
the most crucial element. Straight in like a glove, and you just line them up across the flats there, and that's one hose complete.
Beautiful.
Let's go see if it fits. Alright.
Perfect music in the background too.
Epic. So obviously if you're running next to a turbo like this,
Is that a decent gap?
we don't have much of a gap, but because this is actually hard forged alloy, it's got an air gap, so it should be right.
Find out sooner or later.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough, but if you're running the actual braided line, you cannot run that close to a turbo unless you've got like a heat shield. You can get proper vulcanized like rubber heat shield that slips over that.
Will this give me more killer wasps?
It actually might.
Oh really?
It'll free up. Well, when your car's not breathing, you can't get all the pressure out, so it'll just make it more efficient. So maybe 1 or 2 killer wasps.
Like it needs it.
Yeah, we want to actually down tune this.
Yeah. I want less, not more.
Alright.
I'm not a greedy man.
No. So now it's just a matter of this 180-degree one's going to go on here. Alright guys, we are done. Yeah, they're all routed as neatly as we possibly could. Obviously this one here near the turbo is not 100% ideal, but we didn't want to, there was nowhere else we could put it basically. We didn't want to have to re-powder coat this valve cover by welding one on in a different spot, so that'll have to do. You know, we've got a fair bit, 10mm clearance there, and yeah, we've gone from this -8 line to 2 -10s now. So we've got a fair bit more crankcase evacuation capability. So before, this one was basically doing nothing, it was just the single -8 going to the catch can. So later on we'll take it for a spin and see how it goes, hopefully. What is next? Sway bar,
sway bar,
handbrake.
sway bar, handbrake, and then the rest is all just fiddly shit.
Yeah, no, airbox.
So
Yeah.
I can get it. I just want to get it engineered, the seat belt, so I've got to figure out what I do there.
Yeah.
I Actually, there's a list somewhere. I can't remember. But it's an A4 page of things that need to be done.
Well, I suppose in the engine bay anyway, airbox, you probably need a charcoal canister.
Yep.
So I guess here we'll just probably either do a single -12 or even a -10 just for an engineer. Down into the intake here, we'll probably move that further down when we do the airbox.
Yep.
Plenty of other shit. Oh, let's go get some lunch.
Let's do it.
Yeah.